day today, dog. Offense, great drive.
Go, go!
Up. 1, 2, 3.
Welcome into practice today, presented by SiriusXM. The Jets back at MetLife Stadium for a two-game homestand, kicking things off against the Eagles on Sunday. EA, I can't really believe it's December, and we're in the festive now BetMGM studio.
You know, I was just watching a program there. Can you believe Robert Saleh has a hat on today? It's close to 60 degrees.
Yeah, you know, the weather is kind of confusing right now because a couple days ago it was freezing. Now, and LaFleur's wearing the beanie in his press conference just a couple minutes ago.
I mean, I guess it is December, but I don't know if it's weather appropriate. There he is. You'd think there's icicles outside or something.
Yeah, this is misleading. we got to talk to Coach about this. Do you like the hat, though?
Yeah, I wear that running with Reggie.
Reggie, your dog,
yes.
for those who don't know.
Yeah.
And do you like the palm on the top, or would you rather cut it off?
I'm not a big palm guy. I prefer the beanie. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't mind it, but if I'm designing a hat, I don't think I'm putting it on there. You know?
I think some people can pull it off. I can't.
Does he?
Yeah, Saleh looks good in anything. You know, he's a big long sleeve guy.
He is a big long sleeve guy. Yeah, and he's very animated, whatever he's talking about right now. He's talking to Joe Flacco, who was activated off the COVID list earlier this week. But let's move on to today's headline. I said it earlier, the Jets kicking off a two-game homestand, but 4 of their next 5 games are actually at MetLife Stadium, and 4 of those opponents are currently sub-500, EA.
Yeah, you got some opportunities ahead. Robert Saleh, Zach Wilson, and company. The next 2 opponents who come to MetLife Stadium are right in that NFC playoff picture, which is kind of odd to say considering the Eagles are 5-7, and the New Orleans Saints, who are 5-6, who actually play the Dallas Cowboys tonight on Thursday Night Football, are 5-6. But those teams are right there. It's kind of a muddled up NFC playoff picture, and you know the Philadelphia Eagles are going to come to town a desperate ball club because they outplayed the Giants for large portions of that game last week at MetLife Stadium, and Big Blue was able to escape with the victory.
Right, and another, we'll talk about this, Jalen Hurts, he's dealing with an ankle injury. He told the media that he was going to play, but we'll see how that progresses. And, of course,
Josh Johnson does have the best hat on the field.
Josh Johnson with the best hat, okay.
Yes. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, first, there's no palm on it.
Nope.
And I can't tell, like, he's got the black hat. Saleh's got the more green hat. DJ Montgomery was jamming in the background. The visor makes an appearance here on practice today. A December visor look. There's only one person in this department that would wear a visor at this time of the year, and we both know who that is.
Help me out with this one.
It's Chris Gargano, executive
oh,
producer.
Of course, yes.
Team visor.
Darth Gargano.
All right, so let's wrap up today's headline talking about this in terms of the Jets. The Jets play better at home, at least recently, or not as recently. If you think about the Bengals game, the Titans game, they're 2-3 at home. What kind of difference do you think that could make for somebody under center like Zach Wilson?
I think Vera Tucker and Dan Feeney are laughing at the guys dressing like it's so cold outside right now. You know,
we got everything. We got hats. We got AVT dancing. They must be playing good tunes outside.
AVT's got to be pretty pumped. He's Lincoln Riley now, the new coach at USC. You know that helps out. But on a serious level, this kid has had a great year, and the Jets' 2021 rookie class continue to impress, don't they?
Yeah, I think they do, and we'll see what kind of steps Zach Wilson can take in front of a home crowd this Sunday. The Stealth Black's now back. You like that? Since we're talking about fashion so far.
Is that your favorite combo?
I like the all-whites.
I do too. C.J. Mosley said they're clean, but you mentioned the Jets playing better at home. It was great that they got a road victory last week, the first one of the season. Now they'll be looking for their first back-to-back victories under Robert Saleh. But you're right. They've beaten Cincinnati Bengals and the Tennessee Titans at home so far this season. They get that road victory under their belt. Now can they go back to the friendly confines of MetLife Stadium, not only take care of business this week, but put a streak together at the end of the season for the next 5 at home.
And C.J. Mosley said this after the game. He was like, we can't do what we did last week. We need to approach this week better than we did last week. And that all culminates on Sunday, December 5th. If you got to come out to MetLife Stadium to see the New York Jets play the Philadelphia Eagles, presented by SAP, don't miss the excitement of game day. Lock in your seats at nyjets.com/tickets. Once again, nyjets.com/tickets. All right, moving on here to our Jet in Focus. There's been a lot of bodies at safety. The newest one, Elijah Riley, and he really seems to have solidified his spot back there over the last 2 games, EA.
6 foot, 226 pounds. Everybody talks about his mental horsepower. Of course, Port Jefferson guy out there on Long Island and attended Army, and he is a guy who comes down hill in a hurry, and he's been very impressive considering that he just walked in the building a couple weeks ago, and he's only going to get better. Opportunities at hand for the Jets if you play that safety position. Remember, they started the year with Marcus May and LaMarcus Joyner there in week 1, both those guys on injured reserve. The only problem I have with Elijah Riley is he said he liked the Jets and the Giants growing up. You're a New York kid. How is that even possible?
Yeah, look, I get the whole, we root for New York sports. Right, like you want to see the state do well and the teams do well.
You say that if you're a coach and you just got hired somewhere.
Yeah. No. That's a great point.
You think he was a Giants fan? He must have been, right?
What was that?
He must have been a Giants fan if he said
that.
Yeah,
you're right. Yeah. Yeah, he was like, oh no, I like both New York teams. He is definitely only a Giants fan, and now he's a Jet, and now he feels bad saying it. And just admit it. Just be like, you know what? Yes, I was, but obviously that was a long time ago, and now I'm a New York Jet, and I'm happy to be here. There you go, Elijah Riley. But let's actually hear from the Port Jefferson native himself.
Gosh, it's cool. It's a dream come true, Hometown kid playing for the hometown team. It's amazing. The guys accepted me right away. There was little hesitation. There wasn't much pushback on, me coming in and filling a certain role. And, that's kind of the guy I am. I'm gonna talk. I'm gonna be loud. I'm gonna have fun on the field. Because at the end of the day, we've been playing this game since we were kids. Can't do any less than have fun with it. So just having fun with it, talking. Trying to get everybody hyping together, and I'm glad that they feel good about it.
Great stuff from Elijah Riley, and our big game at MetLife Stadium coming up too for Army.
Yeah, that's right. Army-Navy next weekend, right?
Yeah. I wonder if Elijah – I'm sure he'll watch it. I don't think he'll be able to go.
Yeah, you might have to be at the team hotel later in the afternoon. I don't know what time kickoff is.
3 o'clock.
3 o'clock, yeah, you might not be able to make that. But for him, not only is he a local kid who attended Army at West Point, but obviously this game's going to mean a ton to him considering he broke into the league with the Philadelphia Eagles, spent time, got some game action with them. Interestingly enough, I should say, about the Jets secondary, they allowed 27 pass plays at 25-plus yards in the first 9 games and just 3 25-plus pass plays in the last 2. And give guys like Riley a lot of credit because they've done a fine job coming in, and you would think that he's only going to get better with the more familiarity he has in that system. And this is what you want to see from the Jets over the course of these final 6 games. Who are going to be pieces for you moving forward? This is such a great opportunity for a guy like Elijah Riley. Not only does he come in and join the team, but he's starting and he's playing a ton, and now he gets the chance to face his former team.
Right, and Robert Saleh said that Joe Douglas wanted him a part of the team, talking about Riley. Last year, the Eagles signed him as an undrafted free agent. Now he joins the Jets this year. And one thing before we head to the injury report, since we've been talking about fashion so much this show, what do you think about the hair today from Elijah Riley compared to the hair that we saw yesterday?
I think it works both ways. I like it.
All right, that's all we got. Moving on here, let's take a look at yesterday's injury report. And the position that we kind of have to focus on, or that we'll choose to focus on, is wide receiver, because Corey Davis, again, did not practice with a groin injury. Obviously, a couple of defensive linemen, and we'll talk about the D-line as well. But if Corey Davis cannot play this weekend, and we know that Keelan Cole was placed on the COVID list, what do you think that position looks like?
Well, Denzel Memphis returns to practice, right? He's been out a couple weeks. So Mike LaFleur just talked to the media about him. I would imagine he's going to be up this week because you mentioned Keelan Cole being on the COVID list. Keelan Cole actually leads the Jets, 15.7 yards per catch. Corey Davis, we're going to have to monitor his situation throughout the week. He leads the team in receiving yards with 477, third in receptions with 32. There is the guy who's really broke out in the background, of course, and that's Elijah Moore. He has become this team's top overall offensive weapon.
What do you make of this Eagles secondary? I mean, Darius Slay's obviously a very good cornerback, but do you think that the Jets can maybe poke and prod elsewhere in the secondary?
I think you have to. You're right about Slay. He's a guy who's not only a threat to take the ball away, but he's a threat to take the ball away and take it to the house. So you definitely have to have ball security. For the Jets last week, another slow start offensively, if you really go back and look at it, they did a lot of good things. But you're not going to be able to fall behind by 11 points to a Philadelphia Eagles team because defensively, I think as a whole, as a unit, you're asking me about the secondary, I think you got to take care of business up front, right, first, and you got to keep Zach Wilson out of third and long situations. The encouraging sign for the offense last week was they got it going on the ground. Now, if you can have some kind of balance against the Eagles, then, yeah, I think you can find some holes in that secondary. But you got to stay out of third and long. You got to protect the football. Cannot fall behind against this team.
Right, and also, you think about what Joe Douglas wants to do, build up front. Obviously, the offensive line is in focus every week, but particularly this week against an extremely stout Eagles defensive line. And for more on them, let's head inside the film room with another Baldy's Breakdown presented by Sharp.
Thanks, Ethan. I want to take a look at the Eagles' defense led by their two defensive tackles, Fletcher Cox and Javon Hargrave. The Eagles have been up and down defensively all year, but they're led by their two defensive tackles. Fletcher Cox, 91, in his 10th year, and Javon Hargrave, 97. These two guys are disruptive, they're powerful, they're hard to keep out of the gaps when they want to go there. Like, watch Hargrave here against the left guard. Stands him up, sheds him, and takes down Saquon Barkley. Okay? In the passing game, it's the same thing. Hargrave is their best pass rusher. And he's got moves. It's just not all straight power. He'll get on your edge, like he does right here against Skura of the Giants. And once he does, it's straight to the quarterback. He's got 7 sacks, leads the Eagles in sacks, one of the best interior pass rushers in the league. And then watch Fletcher Cox, 91 right here. Take the right guard, Will Hernandez, bounce him right back into the quarterback and knock the quarterback down. They both have very big power, and they can crush the pocket. Hard for the quarterback to step up and make clean throws.
We are so back. Baldy rocking the bandana.
You never know what you're going to get from Baldy.
Yeah.
I feel like last week he was in a suit or something.
He was. It was the Thanksgiving fit. He dressed up nice for Thanksgiving.
Does he wore a tank top this year?
I don't know, but if he does it in December, I mean, I wouldn't put it past him. But regardless, great stuff from Baldy. That was on the Eagles' defensive line. But we got to talk about this Jets' defensive line. It's not too shabby either. And, the group combined for 3 sacks against the Texans. But we saw earlier on the injury report, both Folorenzo Fatukasi and Sheldon Rankins did not practice yesterday. If they don't play Sunday, how does that landscape change there?
Well, I'll tell you what. Those guys are big pieces up front. Rankins did talk to the media yesterday, so I'm thinking.
You're hoping, yeah, right.
Yeah, I'm thinking that he's going to go. But you mentioned it was a big day on both sides of the line of scrimmage for the Jets against the Texans, and they took care of business against an inferior opponent. This defense is predicated on creating havoc up front. We're looking at Kyle Phillips, who returned to the lineup last week. How about Quinnen Williams now? 6 sacks. John Franklin Myers had a career day, 2 sacks, and of course the interception with the guys.
Yeah, I want to bring up the pick for a minute here. When you're watching the game and you see JFM pick it off and he starts running sideways, like what is going through your mind?
I'm thinking that he's taking an angle that I can't see. you know?
I was confused.
Why, you thought he was tired? He's just looking to get out of bounds, kind of?
Yeah, I don't know. But, I thought maybe if he ran – he knew he was going to get tackled, right? Like, he's not outrunning David Johnson. And it was a phenomenal play. Almost looked like a carbon copy of the Shaq Lawson interception against the Bengals. But,
those big dudes can get tired, man.
Yeah, north and south. Just, as much as you can while you can.
I don't know. I think you're probably so excited to get an interception, you're thinking of getting to the sideline and doing something with the ball, giving the ball to Vito and putting that way in a safe spot, right? But you mentioned defensive tackle, John Franklin Myers. Wow, a guy who's a versatile lineman, line up and then shift inside for you. But, yeah, we'll have to watch for Lorenzo Fatukasi. The Jets also have Nathan Shepard, who continues to get reps there at the defensive tackle position, part of the rotation, and Jonathan Marshall, also a young guy who they drafted, more of a raw project, but he's a freak athlete, so you know, those guys could be options for you. But I would imagine Rankins is up this week.
Right, and we're taking a look at Lorenzo Fatukasi, going through the motions right now.
They're both playing.
All right,
I don't know. Just watching them and hearing what we've heard so far today, I mean, this is encouraging just to see Lorenzo out there right now.
It is very encouraging, and they're going to have a tough test because the Eagles have the NFL's #1 rushing attack. Obviously, Jalen Hurts is a part of that, and he's dealing with a sore ankle. They have a trio of running backs in Miles Sanders, Boston Scott, and Kenneth Gainwell, so we're going to have to talk about them down the road. But Jets fans, if you want to learn how to make some epic game day eats with Mekhi Becton, go for MadeForJetsWatching.com and download the recipe cards for amazing dishes like Pepsi glazed ribs. Pepsi, the official soft drink of the New York Jets. All right, it's time for our Stats Amazing segment here on Practice Today. And, you know, this is what we're going to do. Typically, we have a matchup-related Stats Amazing. We don't have one today. We just have some encouraging numbers here. So in weeks 1 through 10, the Jets ranked 29th in the NFL in rushing yards per game, averaging 86.0. And over the last 2 games, they rank 9th in the NFL, EA, 129.5 yards.
Well, that's huge. Our own Caroline Hendershot actually talked to Tevin Coleman this week about it. And, you know, the Jets, people were wondering what was going to happen without Michael Carter in the lineup because he's been so impressive. But they had their best rushing day overall where they got the production from Tico. Tevin Coleman had his best game in green and white, and Ty Johnson averaged 6-7 yards
Ethan
a carry.
And EA.
All right, well, for more numbers, let's hear from NFL Network analytics expert Cynthia Freeland.
Thanks, Ethan and EA. I've got 3 numbers for you ahead of this week's matchup with the Eagles. The first number is 63.6. Zach Wilson had a 63.6 completion percentage, connecting on 14 of 22 attempts for 145 yards in the win against Houston. The middle of the O-line stood out as especially helpful. Center Connor McGovern allowed exactly 0 pressures. The second number is 9. The Jets' defensive front combined for 9 pressures, with 4 resulting in sacks in last week's win. John Franklin Myers led the way with 3 pressures and 2 of those sacks on 23 pass rushes for a 13% individual pressure rate, including his first quarter interception, which helped drive his highest win share or individual performance rating of the season to date. The last number is 2. In the Giants' upset of the Eagles last week, Jalen Hurts threw 2 of his 3 interceptions when he was under pressure. He only connected for 4 of 10 pass attempts total for 20 yards when the Giants disrupted him. No matter who is under center for the Eagles this week, the key is pressure. If the Jets can keep being productive with pressure, they're going to give themselves the best chance to beat Philadelphia.
All right, great stuff from Cynthia every week, as always. And we're going to wrap up the show with a couple things. Before we get into our cover 2, Robert Saleh's talked, you know, a couple recurring themes here and there throughout the season. And let's hear from Coach before we explain what we're doing here.
His superpower is his mental horsepower. He is a very smart young man.
One of his super strengths is that he can push the ball downfield and get it to any part of the football field at any time. So one of his superpowers is speed. He's one of the faster linebackers in football if you just look at his GPS numbers. So,
all right, the superpower theme making its way on Practice Today, presented by SiriusXM EA. Here's the cover 2 question. Hearing what we just heard from Coach, what would you want your superpower to be if you were a player?
I would say strength. Give me 100 on strength because I could take care of business. You know, like speed's nice, but I'll take an angle and I'll get you.
All right, well, I was thinking speed because
you're going to run away?
Because all gas, no brake. Come on.
Okay.
And the other thing is also, like, is there a clutch superpower? Because I would like that. would that be a superpower if you were just really clutch?
Yeah, I guess so. It sounds almost like a Madden.
Like
Madden
a Madden rating?
Yeah, right.
Like the clutch gene?
Yeah, but you're right about Saleh discussing superpowers. I think that's something, I wonder if he assigns them or is it the position coaches, but we've heard that throughout these news conferences throughout the year, and a lot of these guys have different superpowers, and the more guys you have with superpowers, the better the chance you have at ultimately ending up in the Super Bowl.
And, before we move on here, I just want to ask you, from your playing days, right?
Yeah.
What was your superpower if you had to describe it? Like if you were playing football, not about what you would want your superpower to be, what was it? Like what would Saleh what would he say your superpower is as a player?
I would say anticipation and or vision.
Nice.
Even though I have reading glasses right now and I can't see a thing, is that talking about vision, seeing the field. There are great athletes who can't see the field, and I guess I was blessed with a trait where, I could kind of see things developing maybe before they were happening, and that made up for some physical limitations.
Okay.
Is that fair?
Yeah, I think that's fair. All right.
How about you? Oh. You're not going to answer?
No, okay, I'll answer. I would say for me it would be agility. Or quickness. Well, one of those.
You are quick.
I would say that's it because it makes up for lack of physical traits here. Yeah, that's me. All right. So before we wrap up the show, remember earlier this season we had our MetLife Pet Series. Well, we have our winners. So let's see the winning team and let's cue up Winston, the English Bulldog.
Man, he is a beauty. He's so cute that picture does not look real. His head is 25 times the size of his body.
And Denzel Memphis has a dog. His name is Deuce. But anyway, that's your left guard. Let's go to Jerry the Cat.
Hey.
Defensive lineman. Sneaky. Probably good with his hands, even though, looks a little banged up.
His superpower is mental fortitude because we were looking at Jerry's bio, and he's actually a cancer survivor. So great job by Jerry coming back, man.
This is our third and final MetLife Pet winner. Ruth Nicholson, a Shiba Inu, and that's a running bark.
And I'll tell you what, Ruth likes her hands on the football. So she's not somebody who's going to be going with the committee approach in the backfield. I mean, she wants them all.
Yeah, there's no committee approach for Ruth Nicholson.
No.
All right, if you have a playmaker at home and you want to keep them healthy and you want to see them on the field, go to NewYorkJets.com/MetLife Pet today to learn how to get a pet insurance quote and receive a team gift while supplies last. No purchase is necessary. So what do you think of our chances if we're running out Ruth, Winston, and Jerry at their respective positions? We coming home with the win or what?
No, there'll probably be some locker room dissension because dogs and cats, they really don't mix.
Fair enough. Yeah. All right. Well,
but they're all cute and they're all winners in my book.
And that's how we end this show of Practice Today, presented by SiriusXM. Jets Eagles Sunday 1 o'clock at MetLife Stadium, where that guy will be starting under center, and we will see you at MetLife.